Hello everyone. In these sessions, we are going to learn ecological succession in environmental science and sustainability regulations 2021. Okay, so before that, what is the ecological successions? The progressive replacement of one community by another till the development of stable community in particular area is called as the ecological succession. uh, the stage of ecological successions have the different stages. First one stages is the pioneer community. In this stage, the group of organism which establish the community in area is called pioneer communities. Second stage is the series or serial stage. The various development stages of community is called as series. In these sessions, the community tell us what is community. It is a group of plants or animals living in a area. Okay. From this figure, we can easily understand how the ecological situation is formed. There is three stages. The one is the three pioneer stages. Second was the intermediate stages. Third one is the climax community. So the borac, you can see there is no plant, there is no trees, there is no any animals, things in this lichens. You can see that rack is broken down. Some rack, some soil is formed. The third blocks tell us the small annual plants and lichens. You can see the small plants or is growing in these blocks. And fourth one is the perennial herbs or grasses. So somewhat is more plants and herbs are growing in this area. And fifth blocks tell us the huge grasses, shrubs. You can see the more shrubs and shaded tolerant trees. So these trees cannot stand a long time. The is the climax or climate change. The plants may destroy it. So heat tolerant trees are growing in these blocks. Lost blocks. There is a shade tolerant trees. The only there is no shrub herbs. The only tree only finally occupied that area. So this is from the borac to shaded tolerant trees. It takes hundreds of years. Types of ecological successions. Ecologists recognized two types of ecological successions based on the conditions present at the beginning of the process. So first types is the primary successions. It involves the gradual establishment of biotic community on a lifeless ground. The primary succession further classified into two types. One is hydroc or hydrozer. The establishment starts in a water area like pond and lake. Xerox, second type is Xerox or xerozer. Establishment start in a dry area like a desert and a rock. So primary succession can easily understand by using these pictures. The pioneer species, intermediate species, climax community. Okay, so in pioneer species, so this all the process takes hundreds of years. So first stage is the borac, lichens, small annual plants and lichens, grasses and perennials, grasses, shrubs, and shaded intolerant trees such as pines and shaded tolerant trees such as oak and hickory. So this is the primary successions. So it takes hundreds of years, more than hundreds years. So secondary successions, so it involves the establishment of biotic communities in an area where some type of biotic community is already present. Uh, so process of ecological successions. So process of ecological succession can be explained in the following steps. First steps is a nutations. It is a development of bore area without life form. So invasions, it is the establishment of one or more species on a bore area through migrations followed by establishment. So you can see that secondary succession, it also takes more than 100 years or 150 plus years. So first is the pioneer species, intermediate species, climax community. In first stage, some of the plants get fired, so it's become destroyed and get some gets nutrient into the soil. After the few years, 3 or 4 years, we get grasses and perennial plants. So after the over the year, there will be grasses, shrubs, pines, young oak, ecories are developed. So next, at the end of the that is more than 150 years, so we get the climate community, that is the mature oak and the ecory forest. Yes, the migrations of seeds is brought about by the wind, water, birds or animals, human being, etc., etc. Establishment, the seed then germinate and grow on the land and establish their pioneer community. So that is the establishment. Third steps of the ecological succession is competitions. As the number of individual species grows, there is a completions with same species and between the different species for the space, water and nutrients. So so every species compete with other. So fourth one is the reactions. The living organisms takes water, nutrients, and grow and modify the environment is known as a reactions. Now, this modification becomes unsuitable for existing species and favor some new species which replace the existing species. So this leads to serial community. So fifth one is the stabilizations. It leads to the stable community which is in equilibrium with the environment. So that's all about these ecological successions. So thank you very much.